Welcome to my Graves guide, guys. This is gonna be a complete banger. If you play Graves or looking to pick him up, this is gonna be really good for you. I played this well on unranked to challenger with a 68% win rate on Graves, and if you wanna watch that, you can basically watch that up here. But basically, if you combine the unranked to challenger with this guide, you will be able to 1v9 so much more games, and I would highly recommend it. Enjoy. Have a good one. Graves build. So basically, I would say that as Graves, this is the very classic build where you go Yumu, Collector, Immortal Shieldbow, almost always Lord Dominix into IE. So this is usually the build where if you're playing against squishy champions, and you know, if they're squishy, they don't buy armor, these items kinda bang, okay? So let's say if you play against champions that are a bit tankier versus Bruce armor tanks. So think of champs like Renekton, Viego. Against these champs, usually you should go this item, because let's say they start buying tabbies and they're a bit beefier, then having this item is kind of OP. Usually you can then one-shot them quite fast. So depending on this, like IE and Emerald Shieldbow, it kind of depends on how ahead you are and how much damage you need. But let's say enemy team has a lot of burst, and if they can't one-shot you, you win. I would say even that Immortal Shieldbow is better. But let's say that you have a good front line and you can basically play a bit cocky. I would say IE is better. So depending on like what you're playing against, it depends. But just to give you an idea. And as for versus really beef champions, I started with Collector. Why is this? Imagine enemy team has like an Ornn and a Wukong. Champs that are tanky, a lot of armor, I like to buy crit, because lethality loses so much value. So that's why I like to go Collector, Immortal Shieldbow, less Whisper. This way, you actually deal less damage with your spells, but you deal more on-hit damage. But that's still better because you can't one-shot them anyway in one rotation. So that's why usually I like these items. And I would say that this one might switch. Let's say that enemy team doesn't have that much burst or DPS in general, and you feel like you can out-sustain them and you have to hit them a lot. I would say Bloodthirster 4th is better. And then you can always go IE 5th. But this depends per case, right? So think of more like this. If you feel like you have enough damage, you can always go this. If you feel like you don't have enough damage and you have frontline, you can go IE, okay? As for boots, because I didn't put boots here, right? Usually, you actually want to finish your Yumu, and sometimes you actually don't even finish boots at all, unless, let's say you're playing against Diana, jungle, and they have mid lane Lissandra. Okay, sure. When this happens, after Yumu, you instant go Mercs. But let's say that enemy has Wukong jungle, and they have, let's say, a Cinder mid lane. And it feels a bit awkward to buy Tabis or Mercs. Then you can easily just rush your second item and buy your Mercs or Tabis after. Depending on like how ahead you are and what you're playing against, you can decide. But usually I don't even buy boots that fast, because I think if you finish Yumu and you can get another Serrated Dirk, that's an insane power spike. And boots usually make you a lot weaker. That's basically how I build Graves and how most other people build Graves. Let's go to the next topic. Champion identity. So as Graves, basically what's your job in the game and how you're supposed to play this champion. Because in a way, this is like an AD carry burst champion. I consider it like a Samira of like the jungle in a way. What people have to understand that this champ is like, it's very farm heavy. This champion, you kind of need to recycle your camps permanently and have very good items with 4 objectives. So when I say champion identity, you should consider this like it's not like an hyper carry, but a burst hyper carry, where if you farm well and if enemy jungle goes for random gank and you have like a good base timer, you can play to invade. So basically this champion is like has mobility, so he can basically go in and go out, and his burst, right? So this champ is very good with setup. If you have setup, champs like Nautilus, Lissandra, Syndra, like Leona, any champ that can go in first and allow you to land your Q, you can usually one-shot people. So basically this champion, what it really needs is good farm, it wants setup as well, and it basically wants to be having good items before objectives for skirmishing. In the end, this champion, it doesn't have many tools. It can initiate fights by himself, but if you actually have good base timers and you're as strong as possible and you're playing with the right laners and setups, the chances are that you are going to be quite strong for team fights as long as you have good farm. But if you fuck up ganks or you trade kills and you don't cycle your camps properly, this champ can be a bit bad. And the main strength of this champion is playing against champions that run into you. If you're playing against champs that run into you, you're having a blast. If you play against champs like Zyra, just champs that can guide you, like Mel, that outrange you, you're not having a good time. So that's kind of what Graves is. You want to make sure you farm very well. You want to make sure ideally you have setup, and you are based like an 80 carry burst. Like 80 carry burst champion, you know? But in the end, fundamentals is the most important thing on this champion. But I hope you get an idea on like what this champion kind of does. And let's go to the next one. Tips and tricks on Graves. So basically I'll show you some tips and tricks on Graves, and honestly, there's like few tips like important to know, but I find this one pretty cool, which is that look, you see the Q? I technically can't reach him, right? But if you actually use it on tip, you can actually reach it. So basically Q on the side deals, well not deals, but has long range basically. So let's say like you really want to get someone and he's like CC'd, you could actually like angle your Q a little bit better like that, and you would hit him. Okay, so the other trick you need to know is Graves is basically your bullets. So when I say your bullets, if you have no bullets and you press your Q, it's smoother for the dash. So look at my EQ here, okay? You see how I have to finish my E animation first before I can Q. If you have no bullets, you can basically use it in between. So let's look at the combo like this where I'm trying to escape, okay? I'm like, okay, using 2 bullets. E is like very smooth, you see? But if I have like 1 bullet left and I try the exact same, it's very clunky. So the same goes for smoke screen. If you press smoke screen, you can like use EWQ super fast. If you have bullets, it's just fucking clunky, you know? All you need to know. So besides that, I would say that it is very important that you know too that if you alt attack E, you can actually get cooldowns off. So pay attention, okay? I mean, not sure if you saw it, but basically you see my cooldown. If I alt attack E, if I E fast enough, it goes off cooldown. I basically lost some timer. So, I mean, I'm not even doing it right, I think. You see, I lost basically 1 second or something. That's something that you need to know, that basically if you alt attack E fast, lower cooldown. So another thing that's very normal to know, but a lot of people don't do it. Graves alt attacks are 100% going through the moment you right click. So if I right click, I can't cancel it. So when you play Graves, if you hit the enemy team, you should insta move. It's not like a Jinx or Kindred, it's like you can literally right click, insta move. So usually you should look at your mouse placement. You want to click here and then click like a little bit in front. Some people legit click like here. Don't do that. You want to click a little bit in front. Try to be as efficient as possible. Because you don't want to have your mouse like too far, you know. That just takes more time, you know. Just very smoothly, if you want to gank a lane, you just can do it like this. So another tip that I would highly recommend is that, let's say I'm going to gank ball in here, okay? You have your smoke screen, you of course almost always want to place it in front. But if you place it in front of him, now if you place a smoke screen, he's usually going to run, right? So if he's smoke screened, he's almost always going to run in a straight direction. So try to put your smoke screen and Q at the same time. Because if someone's smoke screened, the chances are that he's probably not going to walk like this to the side to dodge your Q. He'll probably walk straight. So I personally really like using smoke screen and Q together, because that way I can easily know which direction he's going to go and he's going to get hit. So that's kind of it for tips and tricks on Graves. I mean, you can as well jump over this wall. If you hook the wall here, you have your mouse on this thingy, you can jump over the wall. You can watch a video about it, but basically you can jump over the wall like this, you know. It's like simply hook the wall, somewhere where you stick, jump over the wall like this. I kind of fucked up, but I'm pretty sure you can do it on one try, yeah. I don't know exactly how to do it, but trust me, there's like a lot better YouTube videos out there that will explain these things. So if you're interested in learning those, check out Graves tips and tricks you never heard about, whatever. But now let's talk about VOD replay, and I'll be showing you exactly how to carry in a real game. I am basically recording a game that I've played already, and I'll be explaining my thought process. So basically I'm giving commentary on a game that I've played already, explaining everything you need to know on how to play Graves and how to 1v9, and I can promise you, after you have finished watching this, you will be so much better and you will win more games, okay? So let's get to it. So basically this game, well, I'm playing Graves, as you can see. And basically, just to clarify, I am playing Graves against Nocturne, Cassiopeia, and if Caitlyn Leona. It's like a pretty normal draft. Tank against tank, mage against mage, Veigar against Caitlyn, and melee support against melee support, right? So what am I basically thinking? So the very important thing you have to understand is that what is your job this game as Graves? And usually, okay, you have to identify your win condition and identify what you want to play for. So looking at this draft, I would say that top is farming, mid is farming, bot could be a little bit volatile because melee is melee, and I assume that both junglers will be pathing bot side, okay? So knowing this information, look what I'm gonna do here. So basically, I think that Nocturne probably is gonna path top the bot, and because he's probably gonna path top the bot, I'm now putting a deep ward to just see if he's actually starting there. So what does this do? Just so you know, this ward helps with multiple things. It does the following, okay? Which is one, confirms his pathing. So this tells me that if I go to bot side, now I know that if I have mid or bot priority, if I can get the crab or not, okay? So that's nice to know. And it's basically like, you know, my laners know how donkey they can play. Because now let's say that it's confirmed top the bot, my Shen can perma-trade like an ape and not be concerned. So that's why I'm warding level 1, just to see where he starts, and I'm pathing into the bot side here. So I'm gonna show you like as well a little trick on Graves. Look at my E, okay? I'm basically hugging the wall here, and I'm auto-canceling my E basically. So if you play Graves, you can actually clear a little bit faster by you hugging the wall. So look at this once again. Okay, I kind of fucked up there, but you get the idea, right? So right now as well, I'm not hitting the blue buff because it's gonna get killed from the pet. So I basically hit the Gromp. So I'll explain a little bit about clearing as well. And as I'm clearing the Gromp here, I just look at the bot lane. The moment I finish my Gromp, I'm gonna look at bot lane and see how it's going. So one thing Kennen likes to do a lot, he likes to look at these health bars. You see these health bars? The moment any of these health bars start dropping, if you're pathing towards that lane, you can take a look at it, because then you can see what's going on. So as I'm pathing towards the bot side, this is very crucial. At the moment, I basically see that the enemy support's missing, and this tells me one thing. He's probably warding here or here. So knowing that information that he's warding somewhere, I now know, okay, they put down some wards. And because they put down some wards, you see I'm pinging basically where they put down a ward, I now know or think, should I gank level 3 from behind or not? Because imagine that they ward the tribush, I could easily now walk from this and kill them. However, because I have a Veigar and Tahm Kench, which is like a low kill threat, I don't really want to risk going ball in level 3 because I think I cannot kill them, so I continue my full clear here. But let's say I had a champion that was like a bit more aggressive and let's say not a Samira, I would probably just loop behind them and kill them. But in this case I didn't because I felt like the risk reward ratio to try to kill them with my champions wasn't worth it, because Veigar is a scaling champion and not like a very aggressive champion, right? So do you see how they're going so donkey here? So at the moment, if I look at bot lane, this is basically what I'm seeing, okay? What I'm basically seeing here is that the wave is very deep, which means that if they want to last it, they have to be at least here. Seeing their HP, they probably want to play aggressive and play up. So now, knowing as well there's probably ward and tribush, I do want to gank bot lane, because now I know that they're probably going to play aggressive. So you can see here, I'm jumping over the wall, thinking maybe tribush warded, and I'm walking behind them here. I'm walking literally here because, you know, even if they're here, I can easily cut them off here. So when I'm almost showing, which it should be like right now, I'm now pinging my laners, hey, you have to go in. Because I know that maybe this bush is warded, so I'm telling them, hey, get in there. So now, because I skipped the camp, I go ball in here. My ball in died already, sadly. So I'm trying to kill the enemy team. And I do as well know as well that Nocturne could be around here, so I'm being a little bit careful. And this is the crucial part. As a Graves, you almost never wanna trade kills. So if I have a choice to kill Caitlyn here, but I die for it, not worth it. Just take one kill, farm, back off. So right now you can see I'm instantly backing off because I don't want to trade kills. As a jungler, especially carry champs, you do not want to trade kills. Very important. Because me recycling my golems, basing, going top to bot is more important. So here, of course, I mean, he has a Dark Harvest deck. I smoke screen him, get a kill. So after I get his kill here, okay, what is going through my mind? So I always think about the following, which is this. 1, what do I want to play for? Bot lane. 2, do I need the base? So especially with 1, okay, what do I want to play for? Which is bot lane, right? If I want to play bot lane, I do the following, which is clearing my weak camps. And thinking, what can enemy jungle do during this time? Because League of Legends, I consider it like football, which is that football, chess, whatever you call it. I'm currently 1-0 up. This means that if enemy Nocturne tries to score a goal, I want to try to deny that. How do I deny that? Jungle tracking. I don't want it to be 1-1. I want it to stay 1-0. So my job as a jungler now is to ping my bot lane, hey, you might maybe get ganked, don't die. I just saw the Nocturne go towards the bot side, which also means that I get 3 Raptors here. Because he fucked up his tempo, I now get an opportunity to punish him because the base timer was good. So even though I wanted to play bot side, because he fucked up and I know his top camps are up, I'm taking his top camps here. So I could have maybe looked for a top lane gank here. However, if I play against the Nocturne, and if I can deny his camps here and delay his level 6, his champ is useless. So this matchup is specific. I'm just taking his camps to make sure he falls more behind. And right now, do you remember how I said about like it's 1-0? I want to stay 1-1. Sorry, I want to stay 1-0. I would say it's 2-0 right now. Why is this? Me taking 2 camps is 200 gold. This is close to 1 kill. So at the moment, I use my timer to take his camps. So my job now is to jungle track. I will not match the enemy Nocturne because I know where he is and he shouldn't be able to get anything. So jungle tracking right now is very important. And you see the timer, it's 6 minutes almost, which means the Grips is spawning. So when I say the Grips is spawning, in general, before Grips are spawning, you always want to recycle as much as you can and then do the objectives. I never go for random plays unless 90% sure I get a kill. If this is not the case, I'll just take my camps, look for a good base timer, and play for the objective. So in this case here, I will now look to basically kill Nocturne. He tried to invade me because he had no camps, but he didn't see he had no lane priority. Now he's dead. Okay, technically in a way, I would say it is, well, let's just put it this way, 3-0 right now. Okay? So currently it's 3-0. So you see Nocturne just respawned, and I'm still taking his objective. Which also means that currently, he is up-tempo. When I say it's up-tempo, this basically means to me that he can either do Drake, my Raptors, gank bot lane, gank mid lane. Because there's no Raptors, no golems, there's nothing, right? So knowing that he's faster than me on the map, instead of me going for my topsy camps, I am basing instantly, making sure to defend my Raptors if he's gonna rush there, and if he's gonna go for the Drake, I wanna defend that. Because remember how it currently is like 3-0, he might now do one of this or this. And my job as a jungler is to basically make sure he doesn't get a Drake, because then it's like kind of 3-1, right? And Nocturne doesn't do Drake that fast. So because of that, I'm basing instantly, checking my Raptors, and now I'm checking the Drake, knowing that he has 1 turn to do something. And as, you know, his 1 turn to do something, I now check if he's on it. Okay, so pay attention to my pings. So, did you see what I just did with my pings? I basically pinged my mid lane in his face. I pinged assistance here. I pinged my mid lane in his face. And I pinged my bot lane in his face. I literally pinged top and mid to move here. Why is that? If I ping them in their face, it gets their attention. And it gives them the reason. So because I get their attention and I give them the reason, they should usually see that I want to contest the Drake here. So I'm just waiting here and waiting for my laners to move. So sometimes what happens very often is that junglers now would just ping, hey yo, Drake is here, fight, fight, fight. But maybe your bot lane or mid lane is trading and they don't see that. But if you ping them in their face, they'll see that. So as you can see right here, I am just basically fighting here, or like waiting for my laners. And you can see both my mid and bot lane is starting to move because I got their attention and pinged them the reason. So now because I have lane priority, I can go full donkey on him. And here, because I'm level 6 against level 4, I think, I'm strong enough to do this objective without being afraid. So as I'm doing the objective here, of course, I'm just thinking, can he gank bot lane? Can he gank mid lane? Which is no. So ideally when I'm doing Drake, I don't want my laners to fight. But now the moment after Drake, I'll ping my laner, hey, go back. Now they're trying to fight. I finish the Drake. I kill him. Okay. As Graves, what do you want to do next here? So right now, basically, the first thing I'm thinking about is, one, what I want to play for. Two, learn the base. So basically right now, I mean, I can think a bit fast. I don't know, top lane's FK, mid lane's FK, and I got bot lane ahead. So I definitely want to play bot lane. So currently I need, as you can see, 500 gold for my item power spike. So because I need 500 gold for my item power spike, I'm basically gonna full clear here. So you'll see me here looking at my camps. I have 4 camps to take, which is 400 gold. And by the time that I finish all my camps, I will have my item power spike. So because I have now a game plan, which is I want to play for bot lane, and I want to make sure that I get my item power spike, I make sure that I don't look for any place. Because this is a crucial part as a jungler, and even as Graves, you have to understand, is that if you know you have item power spike, ping your laners to play safe, and that's all. So right now, basically, I have a defensive mindset, which is that I want to make sure that I don't have to follow Nocturne around if I really have to help my laners, because if they can't push out a wave, and if enemy Nocturne is around and they will die, sure. I'll make sure that I do so to defend them, so it stays, let's say, 4-0. Because sometimes you can't keep farming and expect them to not get anything, right? Sometimes you have to sacrifice your camps a little bit to help your laners. But in this case, none of my laners need help, so I just full clear, and I base, get my item power spike, and look for the next play. In the end, I want you to understand that League of Legends is a percentage game. When I say percentage game, it's basically you increase your chances of winning by the following: having man advantage, having good base timers, and by having these things, instead of being 50-50, it will now be 60-50, 65-35%. And of course, this is very important to understand when you want to play aggressive and when you want to play defensive. So right now, basically, I am just buffing towards the bot side. So you can see here, I'm even writing, let's get deep wards. So you see how I'm pinging my Tom Kench in his face and getting deep wards. I basically get his attention, ping the reason. So what I want to do here, I basically want to contest this mid lane wave and put deep wards here and here. Because the concept I'm going to explain is the following, which is this. There's 2 ways to lose the game. Which is, you know, one, your laners are really boosted, or they die to enemy jungle. Spoiler, there's some action going to be happening here, but basically, how can you prevent these things? This one is not controllable. Your lane is really boosted. Number 2, the die to enemy jungle is controllable. So when I say that's controllable, basically if you path towards a rincon, don't go for random place, jungle track, you basically eliminate the chances of enemy dying to enemy jungler. Because by pathing towards win condition, basically just in general, right, if your win condition is ahead, they will play like a donkey and they'll play under enemy tower. If you go for random play, which is, let's say, a mid gank or top gank, now, because enemy jungle is up tempo, he can now gank your bot lane. You don't want to go for random plays. And as long as you keep good jungle tracking, and you make sure your lanes are aware of his possibilities, they don't die to enemy jungler. If you do this consistently, you will climb. So right now, I went for an invade, but one problem. Caitlyn was here, and my AD carry wasn't here. So remember what I said about League of Legends being a percentage game? You know, how to increase chances of winning, man advantage, and base advantage. And in this case, I did not have man advantage. So what's the problem here? I'll tell you as well, like, how to review a little bit, because this is something that's, like, very important. So let's go back before the invade. So what's the problem here? The problem here is that I actually did not see how fast Caitlyn was on the map. Do you see how my Veigar is dead right now? And Caitlyn's basing? So I'm basically going in enemy jungle, right? And if I go in enemy jungle, if Caitlyn actually, you know, runs here, he'll be first. So before I went for the invade, which is like, let's say around right here, I should have looked at bot lane too, knowing, okay, maybe Caitlyn is faster to play here, but my mid lane is faster to play. So knowing this information, I don't want to look for a fight. So the moment I see like a Leon in the bush here, I should be thinking already before I'm fighting, okay, wait, I don't see Caitlyn, he might maybe move first, I should get the fuck out here. But instead, I'm like, you know, I'm down to fight, you know? Instead of taking the plant, running away, I'm going forward here. Imagine, it's like such a small difference, but imagine I actually run here, and I jump towards my mid lane. I would actually not have died here. Because my mid lane can peel for me, and I should be chilling, you know? And Caitlyn wouldn't be able to hit me. But because I decided to go in, not being aware of like enemy AD carry moving, I'm dead here. If AD carry wasn't moving here, I would not lose this. I'll flash, QE, W. There's no world where I would lose this. But I got clasped by enemy AD carry and died here. So that's just me not looking at lane priorities, right? And in the end, if you want to be a good Graves or a good jungler, fundamentals is going to get you the furthest. Because so far, I haven't done anything crazy. It's just all about pathing towards the win condition, making sure I ping my laners to play safe, and having good base timers, okay? So right now, I have died, and what's on my mind? So what's on my mind right now is, okay, Gribbies are up, can I play for it? So the thing I'll always do is look at mid, look at top, before I go river, and think, can I contest it? So right now, I'm pinging my laners to play safe, and I want to get the Gribbies. So I am fully aware that the laners might move to me maybe first, and because of that, I already have a mindset of like, I'll just take 1 or 2 and run out if I have to, you know? But now I see Leo on a bot side, and I think that Cassie is showing mid lane, so I'm safe to take this. But as I'm taking this, I'm thinking, okay, can I get collapsed? If yes, I just run away. But Noxian uses ultimate in bot lane, so he doesn't have his ultimate, so I can actually do this. And Noxian knew this as well. But, crucial part here, guys. Noxian hasn't shown one single time on the map, and I'm doing Gribbies here. This tells me that he's basically wanting an up tempo, and you can see that all my camps are up on the map. Which also means that, basically, because I got the Gribbies, let's consider it 1-0, okay? Now he has a chance to make it 1-1. So my mindset as a jungler right now is, okay, where can he score? He can probably only score on bot lane. So as long as I get the full clear, top the bot, and make sure my laners don't die before that, I just took 3 Gribbies and he doesn't take anything. So do you see here how I'm pinging bot lane to be careful? I'm pinging bot lane and mid lane. Hey yo, be careful guys. Because as long as he doesn't get anything, I get 3 grubs and a full clear, that's big. So even though I pinged, I will usually almost always remind my laners. You see here, even though I pinged, I ping again. Why is that? Please don't think that if you ping once, they know. You have to ping sometimes 2 or 3 times to remind them. And do you see how I'm pinging as well? I don't just ping in the river, I ping in the river and I ping them in their faces. So they know, oh wait, he means me, you know? And this is, in my opinion, from 13 years of playing, the best way to ping. Because that way they for sure see it. So right now I'm basically moving towards bot side. They still died, unfortunately. And I'm just seeing what I can do here, you know? And right now I can't do anything. And like I said, as a jungler, you almost never want to trade kills. If I could kill one person, die for it, I would not do that. Currently I'm chasing him down for one reason. Dark Harvest and the Drake is up. So since the enemy team is chunked here, I can easily do the Drake if I delay their bases. So my purpose here is more like delay their bases so I can play for the Drake. And they're quite low, right? So right now basically I want to play for the Drake. They were quite low. And as you can see here as well, look how I pinged. I pinged my mid lane in his face and then I pinged the Drake. So basically he knows, oh, you see I'm pinging again in his face, please move your booty. Don't assume that your laners are gonna move, they won't. So here I'm pinging my mid lane in his face, and then basically I'm doing the objective here. So he's gonna move his booty, you see? Okay, so I just want to highlight the mistake of the enemy that he made. So you see how enemy Nocturne, this is a low elo mistake, don't do this. Do you see how Nocturne is trying to contest this? Essentially, he's like wasting his time. Don't do this. If you're not sure you can contest something, and think about it from Nocturne perspective. Nocturne literally got a Veigar kill. So not only does he try to get a Veigar kill, he tries to get a Drake as well. If he just took the Veigar kill and gets tempo, bases, clears top the bot, right? He now will have another chance in like the next minute or so to make another play, because he's gonna have tempo, right? But now, because he actually tried to contest this, while he's actually, well, not stronger, he's wasting his tempo. And I'll tell you right now, the best junglers in the world, right? How to be the best jungler, have really insane understanding of what they can contest and what they can't. Because this way, they get more tempo. More tempo is more kill opportunities. More kill opportunities is more fat. More fat is win more fights. Win more fights is win game, right? So essentially, tempo is everything. So this is a skill you have to learn, which is, you know. Oh, do you see here as well how here, after I made the mid lane play, I instantly think, what can he do? Because think of it like this. I got a kill. If Nocturne doesn't score a goal in the next minute, and I get to full clear and base, I can snowball my lead. So right now you can see I'm instantly pinging bot lane, yo, be careful. And before Nocturne even showed, I already pinged my bot lane, hey, be careful. Maybe if I didn't ping my bot lane, they would still be hitting tower and they would have died. Such a small thing really matters. And because my bot lane actually respected and Caitlyn overstepped, not only do I now get a bigger lead, my laners didn't die. So it's like double as much, right? So, okay, look here. I'm actually basing here. So why am I basing here? I think about the following. What I want to play for, which is bot lane. And do I need the base? Yeah, I have 1.4k. So the general concept as a jungler you have to understand is that you want to clear your weak side camps, which is my top side, and then go into bot side. Like the last thing you would want is clearing your bot side camps, then going towards top side. Because if you go from top side, so if you go from bot side to top side, and now let's say your bot lane is playing aggressive, running all the way from here to here, not good. But if I base now, clear my top side camps, I can always ignore these camps. If mid and bot is a shit show, and then I can always just like, you know, gang bot lane. And after I gang bot lane, I can go back to my camps. But you know, if let's say I do these camps, go bot lane, and all my top side's up, not only is my top side maybe taken, I as well can't go from bot side to top side. So TLDR basically is this. Clear weak side always, if possible, into strong side. Which is right now if I want to play bot lane, top side is my strong side, sorry, weak side, bot lane is my strong side, right? So now I deny the cross map here. And now, let's say if bot lane is a shit show, I skip all my camps, boom, kill them. And as well now, because I kill bot lane, Nocturne cannot invade my bot camps. And because of that, I would be able to, you know, snowball my lead here. And of course, as I'm farming here and all my camps are up, I have one thing in my mind. Nocturne has one play to do something. As long as he can't do this one play, I can snowball. And of course, if you're ahead in general, if you can't take the enemy camps, always take the enemy camps. So you can see here, I'm going for an invade here. And as I'm going for an invade, yeah, I'm just going for an invade here. Nothing too crazy. So small thing about Graves here that I'm going to show you, which is that, look at my smoke screen. A lot of bad Graves players would press smoke screen on Leona, but you almost never want to press smoke screen on Leona. You always want to save it for the Caitlyn, because, yeah, you know, Caitlyn doesn't see shit, he doesn't DPS, that's essentially where the main damage source is, right? So here, I'm not using my W, I'm actually holding it, and, well, after I hold it, you know, I'll use it on the backline, you see? So at the moment, I yoink camps, and this is just a general rule, right? If you're ahead, you shouldn't give the objective. So right now, Nocturne has no ultimate, I'm quite far ahead, and since Nocturne is doing the Rift Herald solo, I can defend this. You see, once again, I'm pinging my mid lane in his face, and I ping him, hey, Rift Herald. Right now you can see I'm sprinting there because I know I can make it and I'm very strong. And I'm gonna go there. So now, as you can see, Nocturne is getting pushed off. And of course, the moment I take the Rift Herald, I'm seeing if I need to base or not. But there's a Malphite very deep on my screen. So obviously, I'm gonna punish him. He should be dying for doing whatever he's doing. So I want you now to pay attention to the Graves combo. I Omega trolled it, just so you know. But the general rule, if you press Graves combo, is actually that you wanna kind of use your W and Q together. Why is that? Because let's say he's actually smoke screen, okay? Technically, the only thing he would see is this. If this is the only thing he sees, then if you press your Q, usually he will just walk in a straight line and he won't try to dodge it, right? Because let's say I use my Q, but I was just saying this angle is super bad. So look what I did. I pressed my W and I pressed my Q this way. It would have been much better if it was actually this direction and then I pressed my W this direction and then Q this direction. Because let's say he's actually here and he's smoke screened, he would probably keep walking straight. Without smoke screen, he might actually just like sidestep. So here you can see I use my W and my Q really bad because the angle is bad. And in general, you always want to hit Q2. Q1 is kind of useless. So of course right now, the instant thing I think about after I kill him is, okay, what do I want to play for? Well, and just saying what I want to play for is obviously like a laner, but it should as well be like an item, right? So right now I have 1.8k gold, I have my item power spike, so I'll look for a base here, and I am now thinking, okay, which laner / objective do I want to play for? So at the moment, if I look at the map state, Drake in 1 minute. So you can see here, I'm clearing my weak side, and then going towards the Drake. So a general rule, this is what I almost always do, 1:30 before objectives, I will clear my camps, look for a base if I need to. Not going for random place. Jungle tracking. Because think like this. Imagine the enemy jungler is going for a play, and it doesn't work out. He now didn't recycle his camps, and if Drake is spawning, not only did he not recycle his camps, maybe he didn't base and spend his gold. And now, maybe if we win the fight, I can take his camps after. And I can promise you, then it's really doomed. And worst case, if you die at an objective, because usually you team fight, at least your camps are respawning. So even though there's like a Grace video, a guide, you need to understand these fundamentals because no matter how good mechanically you are on a champion, if your fundamentals are dog shit, not gonna make it far. So just an example to show you here. Before they died here, look, I have like literally 800 gold to spend. Just 800 gold. And I tried to base here for Mercs because I'm playing as Cassio, Malphite, Nocturne, Leona. I'm trying to increase my chances of winning skirmishes by having good base timers, especially before objectives. Of course, if there's no objectives, I'll probably just full clear, you know, because I can take my time. But not right now, I don't have that much time, so I'm looking for a base. But then I see basically my team fighting here, and I'm seeing if I can do something. And just saying, right now it's like 4v2, so my mindset now is like, okay, I don't want to fight, but I'll see what I can do here. So you can see here, they jumped in, we one-shot the Nocturne, and I'm not being greedy. I'm not losing my HP. I just take the small win, which is the Nocturne trade, and once again, I'm recycling my camps here. You see? So what do I want to do next? Well, I probably want to play for the Drake, because Nocturne is dead, and if I'm strong enough, I'll do the Drake. However, before you do the Drake in general as Graves, you really want to clear the vision wards first, make sure it's scary for them to face check, and then kind of like see how they react. But in this case, I saw Malphite top lane, and I'm pretty damn strong, so I felt pretty confident doing the Drake here. So okay, pay attention to this. As Graves, every single time you E up, you should E towards the enemy team, because you actually get 2 stacks right now. So look what I'm gonna do. When I see Leona appear on my screen here, I'm Eing towards him, because now I get 2 stacks. So before there's gonna be a fight breaking out, I'm legit just stacking my E. So you see, my E up, I E towards him. And the main reason is just to stack my passive. Look at this. Passive, 1 stack. Now E towards him, 3 stacks. Now my E's coming up again, 5 stacks. And just so you know, by the way, the stacks matter so much. I have 91 armor. I go from 91 to like 117 to to like 140. I literally get 50 armor. 50 armor is like close to 1k gold value. And here, this is something as well that's pretty crucial as Graves. I think a lot of people underestimate, which is like just this mechanics, right? I know if Cassio lands a Q on me, I will never ever win the trade. So look at my movement. You see, I'm like not even hitting anyone. I'm just literally trying to dodge the spells here. So now, I just E forward here, and because he didn't land builds on me, he's cooked. But it's basically just understanding what's a threat, and that's definitely a threat. So I just dodge a spell, kill him. Okay, wonderful. So now we're gonna go back to fundamentals a bit. So right now, what's on my mind? Alticon spawn in 40 seconds. I have 2k gold. I probably want a base. So this tells me that I basically want to not fight, ping laners to play safe. However, in this case, Leona and Cassiopeia died, and this is at worst at 3v3 on mid lane, so I didn't actually ping them back. But imagine, enemy was like 4 men maybe, I would hard spam ping them back, so they don't die, and then set up the Alticon, okay? But in this case, they're more than fine. But now, of course, I'm pinging them, hey, back off. Alticon spawn in 10 seconds. Don't greet like a dog. So at the moment, because Alticon's spawning, I hope my laners are gonna base. And because Nocturne died and I felt like he didn't take any of his camps, instead of taking my own camps, I'm looking to take his camps. But sadly, there were no camps here. And this is something as well you have to understand as a jungler, which is that even though Nocturne died here, I could be taking these camps, right? But especially if you're ahead, and especially if your lanes are gonna push, ideally you want to be on the same line as them. So this is the line I'm drawing. I want to be in this line. So most of the times, I would say that people would take their camps here, but then you're in this line. And if your laners are like playing like they're doing right now, they might die. So every single time I'm winning, and I think there's enemy camps up, if my laners play like this, I'm always going to try to be as close as possible, so they cannot get engaged. So right now when enemy team sees me, they're like, yeah, I guess we're not fighting. This will make sure that my laners are safe, and I'm yoinking enemy camps. But of course, I still don't really want to fight on the mid lane, so I'm pinging them back. Because in general, as Graves, you have to understand that you don't want to fight in open area. To increase your chances of winning, man advantage. How do I get man advantage? By my Veigar pushing mid lane, making sure they're stuck in the tower, and now we rotate somewhere else, and now we are +1. So even though I could take a fight 3v3, why would you fight 3v3 when you can fight 4v3 if you're winning? Because you have lane priority. Just think about it. There's no reason to do that, right? So you can see here, I'm just pinging my laners to back off, dodging his Q, taking his camps. So even right now, right, I don't want to fight, because look at this. I see Malphite on my screen, and I saw Cassiopeia, which is 2 of their solo laners. My Shen's right now pushing top. This is just fundamentals, okay? If they ever group 5 men, just run. Just don't fight. So you'll see me soon spamming my teammates, please back off. Because if enemy team is not bronze, which they're not, they see Shen, and they know it's a 5v4. They really want to fight right now. If they can't get the fight, they will lose top tower. And, you know, all we have to do is just oink. So right now you can see I'm pinging my Veigar or anyone to back off because I don't want to give them any chance to fight. So you can see here, enemy team just completely centered it here, and we still died. Even though pinging back, we still died here. Shen ulting here is not even that insane, because he should be getting free top tower without us losing anything. So like, this fight here that we took, it happened to be a 2-for-2, but I think that we should have just gotten free top tower, and after we get free top tower, what should happen here is that, imagine this fight didn't happen, okay? Now, one of the enemy team has to go top lane, and because they go top lane, now Shen has ultimate, now we are the ones +1. But now we're like -1. And why would you ever fight -1 when you can fight +1? So these are just fundamentals that's very important to understand, because I just take fights that are high chance to win. Like, that's the main difference between like low elo and high elo. And when I say low elo, I would say people you even like below diamond, right? even like Master, they will take these random fights when they could legit press S, wait for the enemy to show, and then look for a fight. And now, because my lanes are dead, obviously, I am just waiting, you know? But since Nocturne is dead and his toxic camps are spawning, as you can see, I am just yoinking his camps here. But of course, as I yoink his camps here, I know that Nocturne just respawned. I don't want to look for any fight. And I know if you greet like this, like I am, as Graves, which is good buddy sometimes, you want to make sure that there's no fight. But of course, right now, I am thinking about how much gold do I need for my item power spike. You can see I just opened my shop, and I basically need like, I think 300 gold? I think probably around 300 gold, yeah. So because I need like 300 gold, I'm now checking, okay, how much gold do I need? I'm like, okay, I need like 3 camps and crap, I got my item. So my mindset right now is defensive as fuck. I don't want to look for any fight. So if any of my laners are gonna cross this line, I will spam ping them back to not be fighting, because I know this is the only timer the enemy team can look for a fight. And if they don't get this fight, and I get my base off, that's big. So right now, I am just pinging my ball in to play safe here. I know I want to take 3 toxic camps, base, and then play for the bot side. You can even see here, I'm pinging top lane, I'm pinging bot lane, but this is not crazy, right? But you can see here, if you watch me explain, I'm very aware what I'm playing for, whether it's like which laner, which objective, and which item. And I know when I want to play aggressive and when I want to play defensive. And during this time, I'm just making sure I ping my laners to not do anything funny, right? I mean, my Mel got caught here, so... But the enemy team is getting low-key one-shot by the Atakan. So I can defend Atakan here. And the enemy team is bouncing. But right now even, my mindset here even is just like, okay, I just want to make sure they get off Atakan. And I want to wait for my Mel to respawn. Unless they, of course, troll, I'll kill them. But that's legit my mindset right now, because it's 4v3, right? So now I'm just seeing what I can do here, but knowing that it's a 4v3. But basically, I think I am very strong here. And I think I could have played a bit more aggressive here. So let's just look at it mechanically a bit. Because in the end, it's like a Graves guide, right? So, okay, let's look at this, okay? I think my W, just pure mechanically wise, I think my W is probably a waste on the Leona. Actually, it's not a waste because I'm actually chasing him to try to kill him. Okay, so now I would say I'm a little bit afraid of Cassiopeia ultimate. But as Graves here, right? One thing I could do is now alt attack Q. And then I could always like try to dodge his ult. But I think right now, when alt attack, I actually walked backwards, but I didn't think I would deal this much damage. So then I kind of pushed it out, you see. But honestly, I think it's fine the way I played it, because I was afraid of his ultimate, you know? But if I have Shen ultimate, I could easily go more aggressive here. So it's like fine what I did, you know? I was playing a bit like a pussy. Okay, so now I get the objective. And after I got the objective, look, you can see here, as I'm doing this objective, okay? You can see me always pinging what I want to play for next. So look, I just took the objective here. So now I look at what's next objective. Drake 20 seconds. And because Drake's in 20 seconds, I'm hopefully instantly basing, because Nocturne is spawning in 9 seconds. So because I'm instantly basing, I can now match his place. So because I'm pinging the objective is spawning in 20 seconds, I'm basically telling my laners, base if you have to, be ready for objective. And now, because, you know, there's an objective spawning, I want to play for that. So if my laners, you can see here, I'm very controlling. I'm just pinging my laners in their face, hey, let's play for Drake. And here, I'm probably, actually, am I taking red buff? I guess I am. Because usually, if there's a wave like this, you want to be there on the wave. And, because like, why is that? Because if they contest mid lane wave, and I'm not there, my laners might die. So if you're there, you can support them. But in this case, oh, one tip is Graves as well. Do you see how I hit the wards here? So basically it's Graves, if you hit the ward, you hit the ward and the Drake. So you can see here, I'm hitting the ward and I hit the Drake. They use now blue trinket. I did exactly the same thing. I hit the ward, I hit the Drake. you don't even lose any damage. Then, of course, as I'm taking the Drake, I kind of have like a defensive mindset, which is that I'm really far away from my top side, so I would probably pin him back. Yeah, you can see here, like, because as a jungler, you need to have really ego mindset. When I say ego mindset, it's like, try to be in every play. If you are not, ping your laners to back off. Because I can guarantee you, your laners don't think about playing with you. So you have to make sure that you're either involved or you ping them to back off. I'm sure all of you guys had games where like you're super far ahead and your laners start fighting without you. And that's normal, you know? So, okay. Right now, you can see what I'm pinging. I'm basically pinging, hey, I want top division. Why is this? I want to play for top tower, I want to set up the Baron. Because at the moment, as Graves, you have to understand that it's very important to play on the objectives you want to play for. Because that way, they'll be forced to come to you and there will be a fight happening. Because as Graves, you don't have any tools to just fight them straight up. But objectives allow you to basically them come to you. So the fight will happen, right? And especially if you're strong, there's a reason for them to walk in or fight. It's like if they walk in, they want to check the objective. If they do, we might be cheesing and they die. So here, just to clarify as well, I'm pinging back because, once again, Malphite Cassiopeia is showing. So I basically know I have a free top lane. Why would I fight here? That's why I'm pinging them to back off. Because why would I ever fight if I have free top lane tower? Now Caitlyn out of position. We killed them. But you can see here, I'm being very careful. Because I know that if we just don't die here, we get free top. And at some point, they have to go back on top lane. And because of that, we can get free mid tower here, right? Because, you know, we're +1. So right now, we did take the Otacon. So because we did take the Otacon, I plan to go full psycho here. I was like, you know, what's up, boys? And now we take the objective. So, okay. After I get these kills, it's very important that as a jungler, you're not too greedy. When I say you're not too greedy, I basically mean that at the moment, you should look for a base, spend your gold, because I have 2k gold, and then be patient. Set up the objective again, make sure to choke them out, and play it slow. Next time we make a pick, instead of taking inhibitor, we're taking Baron. Like, don't be greedy. The more ahead you are, the less risk you want to take. So look what I'm gonna do. Here I'm looking how much gold I need from my item. I take 1 extra camp. And after I take that 1 extra camp, I'm basing because now I have my item power spike. And after I base here, of course, I am thinking, okay, what camps do I want to take? So a very big tip I have is that, you see right now, all my camps are up. Even though my camps are up, if I have the choice between my camps or enemy camps, I will almost always go for the enemy camps. Usually I would always advocate clear your weak side, but in this case, I'm so fat that I can literally clear my strong side, go instantly into their jungle with my team. Like, I don't want to be in this line. I want to be on the same line as my laners. If I'm not on the same line, I will ping my laners to play safe. So as you can see here, I'm literally in the same line. And just think from Cassio perspective here. Cassiopeia sees his wave. Usually if laners see a wave, they will finish it till the wave die, unless they literally see us. If they don't see us, which he doesn't, he's gonna die here. But you can see this plate that I'm showing you, I can only be here because I'm on the same line, and I know when or where to be. And now because we get a pick here, we can probably just get the Baron, and they will, you know, they're not happy. And now basically enemy team FF because Nocturne actually rage quit. But just so you see this game, like I'm just gonna explain to you guys like how I won this game. Just to give a breakdown, it's essentially coming down to this. 1, understanding what my win con slash what I want to play for. Which opposites here. 1 is understanding what laner slash objective I want to play for, right? So once I understand which lane objective I want to play for, I think in general about, okay, do I need the base? And then, of course, in general, I will always clear weak side into strong side. And I just have like insane jungle tracking while farming. You see, like, basically I understand turns extremely well. Every single time I get something and it's 1-0, I make sure it stays 1-0. Then after if my laners don't die, I get another thing, 2-0, 3-0. Because a big part of snowballing essentially is drone tracking. And as Graves, you have to understand this. If you do this properly, bro, it's free low. Like, for the people that have been watching this till this point, I'm telling you, it's like, the things I'm explaining, I'm saving you like hours of like learning these things, and it's really not complicated. Do these things, and oh, one thing that I kind of forgot. I'll just put it here. 130 before objectives, clearing camps, basing properly, drone tracking. This way, I am as strong as possible for the fight. Essentially, if you can do these things, I can promise you, you are being chilling. And yeah, I mean, I hope you guys liked this Graves guide, basically me explaining. And if you liked it, you can leave a comment down below. But I do think in general, right, instead of playing a game, I think me just explaining my thought process as I'm playing, you'll actually understand a lot more. And I might do this more in the future, but I hope you guys enjoyed. And if you liked it, you can leave a sub or like. I wish you all a good one. Peace.